In another instance, if that community was with a different landscaper or lawn, pest control fertilizer person, you're probably walking in on a situation where there's chinch bugs and there's dollar weeds and there's sedge and there's problems, and then you get rid of the problems and you're like, oh, they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
I see
right.
the weed dying. I see the sedge dying. Yeah. Now whoever's doing the reactive stuff looks really good because they see stuff dying. But for us, we just try to never let it get to that point.
Welcome to the Landscape Cafe and part 3 in this series.
When you use your chemicals, all that, is it the same throughout the year? You just do one certain type of application and it kills all the funguses, bugs, stuff like that? Or how does that work?
So some companies have like a premix type thing. We have that, but we do have a program, but we use a lot of granular products. So because of that, it's not so much of a spray program. There's a lot of granular, parts of the program. So bringing different equipment out to the job site, different things on different months. So every month is different. What you got to try to do on your program is proactively treat what's coming out next.
Okay.
If you know that there's a season of Rhizoctonia coming and it's going to come in December and January, well, you just treat it in November.
Nice. So you can pre-treat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you know that armyworms are going to be coming in May, treat it in April. So that way you're catching them on the front side. If you know that grubs are going to come in fall, treat them in September.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to do. We just try to do proactive pest control because a lot of people do reactive pest control. And if you want a reactive pest control company, it's very easy to find them. So, but we want to be different. And not only that, if you are proactive, you use less products.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that you said that. I talk to my customers a lot about the difference between reactive and proactive. There's many times where a customer will be like, man, I just paid you X amount of dollars and I feel like you didn't really do much. And it's like, that's funny. I actually did. But I did not do as much. I didn't give you that fresh haircut feeling. The example I usually return to them in conversation is, okay, picture you went 3 to 4 months without getting a haircut. And how did that feel? How did that look when you got that fresh look back that you loved? Felt great. And you are happy to pay that. You're happy to pay that whatever it costs for that haircut. What we are like is like as somebody who comes and gets a haircut every 2 weeks. Now we don't have to haul off that much debris. We don't have to do nearly as much work. You're right, but we're also going to be a lot cheaper because we don't have to do all that. We are going to continuously be on top of that, and you're going to have so much value in that 3-4 month time span where you would just be actively declining if we were not showing up. Your hair would be growing, for example, using that, would be growing and you would look shaggy for a few months. But for us, we're doing proactive. As soon as that branch starts to grow out 3 inches, customer's not knowing that net yet. You clip it so you keep the form, keep the shape of the bush. And man, proactive maintenance is so much cheaper. And what that does is that allows our clients to reap the benefits of our services, because then I'm specifically talking about for Fort Myers Garden Service, our maintenance company.
Yeah.
They have our horticulture technician that can go around and look for different pests, fungus, anything, and report those to you guys. And so that's the biggest thing right there is we get to use our value in scoping and identifying and doing the little things that matter most. One of the biggest examples, my technician even gave this to me. He's like, this is a great selling point for our services. We had a customer who had a pool pump and he had a traveler's palm, and those are grouping and they continue to grow and grow. It was right by his pool pump, really expensive pool pump. He had a big pool. and it was kind of taking over at the last maintenance company that he fired. Didn't really do much, but we were able to proactively look around the property and actually think. Most companies are there for 8 to 15 minutes for their maintenance accounts. They're in and out. We're there for usually 3 to 4 hours. And we're able to look when we don't have to be just trimming, hauling stuff, doing just monotonous work, busy work. And we can look for those things and cut out those extra traveler palms or those extra branches so that pool pump can breathe and doesn't overheat and then break whatever expensive bill that was. Man, the proactive maintenance or proactive services in the landscape industry is so important, and it's way overlooked.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things, you get chinch bugs in May, in a lawn. Next year, spray it out in April. Use a 3-month systemic.
Right.
Be done with the problem. Break the egg cycle. You're going to be good. So doing that, makes you not chase your tail, waste gas, waste labor, doing a bunch of services over the summer when you've caught them before they came.
That's awesome. Is it easier to treat them before they come? How does that work?
Yeah, it's much easier.
Different life cycles?
Well, it's funny, just like your example, we had a community that was kind of near that other community I told you about. And some of the people were like, well, what are these people even doing here?
Right.
And I just kind of walked around the yards and I said, have you guys ever had chinch bugs for the last, we've been servicing this one for like 10 years. You guys haven't had chinch bugs in the last 10 years? What's that? I know. You don't have chinch bugs, all right? You guys have any weed problems? Yeah, have you seen a dollar weed? No. What's that? Because you guys haven't had the problems, And so to be proactive and be good at it, people don't even know what's happening, And so I guess there's a value there that you kind of have to sell them and educate them that you are doing proactive stuff. And that, in another instance, if that community was with a different landscaper or lawn, pest control fertilizer person, you're probably walking in on a situation where there's chinch bugs and there's dollar weeds and there's sedge and there's problems. And then you get rid of the problems and you're like, oh, they're doing something,
Mm-hmm.
I see the weed dying. I see the sedge dying, But
and now you're the hero.
Yeah. Now whoever's doing the reactive stuff looks really good because they see stuff dying, But for us, we just try to never let it get to that point,
Right. That's awesome. That's incredible. I love that. Man, proactive is such a beautiful thing. Something that you said and it sparked something in my thoughts is educating the customer. That for us, it is a huge part of our business. Not only, to get us the sale or get us the contract, but to actually have them understand what they're getting, what they're not getting. How big of your business or time is set aside for educating your clients? You send out so many emails, and I feel like you're always on the phone with people. Is a lot of your business educating the customers as well?
Yeah, I think setting the expectation early and often is great.
Okay.
Doing that with your paperwork that you give them, calendar that you give them of when you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, and then seasonal updates for, what's coming next and what you're treating for this time, individual to each, client. You really want to make sure that they know that there's a problem that's going to come up this next season that you're treating for it right now. But if they do see anything, please let us know. So that's really the goal. And, it's not hard. It's really not hard to do that.
And educating our clients is so undervalued, I think. And not only when you educate the clients, I feel like organically you're able to give them more value. So you're able to earn more money for your services when you educate the clients, because then they don't mind every time that bill comes through. Man, I'm so happy with my yard. Pay it. You know what I mean? Because they're on top of it. I understand what they're doing in my yard. As soon as I see that invoice, I'm happy to give them my money because they're giving me great value, great services. So education is a huge thing that's underlooked, I think.
What we try to do more than anything, with regards to, education, we try to do quarterly newsletters, and we try to do service newsletters. So service newsletters when we're out, what we're doing, informational for them. And then number 2 is the quarterlies, which kind of goes over the next quarter, what to expect service wise and, insect wise, fungus wise. And then number 3 is if we're on the property and we see anything wrong, we don't sit on that information. We get it right into their hands, and we let them, hey, we saw this when we were out. This is the problem. Just to let you know, that's the problem. If we've resolved it, or if you want us to resolve it, depending on what the problem is, it'll be this much, but just to let you know. And then they could go out and be like, wow, they were here. They saw this problem. I see the same problem. I'll approve this, this estimate for them to do this. So, right. Which is great because how many times have I been in this situation in my life where the person comes back from summer, looks at a palm tree that we missed in the backyard that has frizzle top that should have been resolved, was never resolved, and the palm tree's dead. And that's definitely was a major pain point in my life. We were able to resolve that through customer communication and informing them, in real time what's happening and how we're going to resolve it.
Right. That's awesome. That's, again, goes back to your systems. So, man, I want to switch roles a little bit and talk about the hurricane. First off, how did you guys do in the hurricane? How did your family do? How did your employees do? Share a little bit with me on that.
Yeah, hurricane was real tough. For us personally, no problem. For some of my employees, it was a really big challenge and problem. And then, for clients, it was terrible. It was devastating. There's, how do I say this? I have a lot of coastal properties. I think we had over 400 clients stop service on the coast. So
400 clients?
Yes. Landscapes completely demolished. Palms gone, it was, that was super challenging. They're going to get landscape eventually. They're going to be our client in the future. We're keeping in contact with them every 3 to 4 weeks to find out updates and seeing what's going on, and obviously being concerned for them. But to lose 300, 400 homes in one fell swoop of Hurricane Ian, it's not fun. It's not fun.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. There is more to come. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. And don't forget, the best place to rate or follow the show is at thelandscapecafe.com.